Hey, we know that this one also, it's no new news, but we will talk about it.
We got to talk about it.
You may have heard about the shocking abuse lawsuit being leveled at WWE boss Vince McMahon by a former employee. The scandal couldn't come at a worse time as the WWE signed a massive $5 billion deal with Netflix. So much is on the line. Everyone at the WWE has reportedly been told to not say a word.
You know it's JEJE VIBE.
It's JEJE
You feel the vibe.
I'm feeling it.
JEJE VIBE. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to JEJE VIBE.
It's JEJE Vibe.
You know I got the amazing queen with me.
Thanks, honey.
Today we're going to be touching on a subject or on a topic that we've been like, isn't necessary that we talk about it, but we have to talk about it.
Hey, we know that this one also, it's no new news, but we will talk about it.
We got to talk about it. Vince McMahon, the former CEO, also the founder of the popular WWE universe, has been hit with the lawsuits. And this is crazy work.
Crazy.
Everybody in WWE is trying to just stay quiet about this whole thing.
Hush about it.
You may have heard about the shocking abuse lawsuit being leveled at WWE boss Vince McMahon by a former employee. The scandal couldn't come at a worse time as the WWE signed a massive $5 billion deal with Netflix. So much is on the line. Everyone at the WWE has reportedly been told to not say a word.
And since we're in the era of where freak offs are being exposed, I think this is part of the freak offs that came before even Didi's freak off was made public.
Hey, it looks like we might have a playlist on freak offs now.
Freak offs everywhere. Like every organization right now is having a freak off.
Since it looks like that's what you guys are using to run y'all's organizations
Like,
now.
what are we doing? This is crazy.
So there's no way y'all can keep a business?
It is crazy work.
Former WWE employee Janelle Grant accuses McMahon of sexual assault and trafficking. Just this week, McMahon, along with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, rang the bell at the New York Stock Exchange to celebrate The Rock joining the board of WWE's new parent company, TKO. Look, 78-year-old McMahon is almost unrecognizable with dyed black hair and a mustache, a far cry from his heyday. In the lawsuit, Janelle Grant accuses McMahon of sharing sexually explicit photographs and videos of her with the wrestlers and recruiting men to have a threesome at the WWE headquarters, even during working hours, while referring to her as his star. To show his domination over her life, the lawsuit claims McMahon texted her, "I'm the only one who owns you and controls who I want to blank you." Last year, McMahon spoke about his legacy.
Let me just say, I've made mistakes.
That sounds like a
Obviously,
freaking pimp.
both personally and professionally through my 50-year career. I've owned up to every single one of them and then moved on.
Now, many are wondering if the sordid accusations could threaten the 10-year, $5 billion deal Netflix just signed for WWE's live streaming rights.
Is Netflix going to dump this deal? I don't think so. But could they? Well, this is Hollywood and anything can happen. But I would not say that anyone's getting out of the ring yet.
A spokesperson for Vince McMahon says the lawsuit is riddled
Anyone's
with
not getting
falsehoods,
out of the wrestling
baseless
ring yet.
fabrications of events that never transpired, and a malicious distortion of the truth.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Vince McMahon, there's so many crazy allegations here.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in WWE is trying to keep
Hush, 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 hush.
Nobody wants to
Even
talk
the
about it.
mainstream media too, they're trying to keep it hush hush.
Everybody's just acting like this case has just come and gone.
Being delulu about it.
It's crazy. CEOs and this so-called organizations, only God knows what they're doing behind the scenes.
Makes you wonder, even if they really competent at all? Because if this is what you guys are busy doing and you can't keep a business, why are y'all busy being a CEO?
This is crazy. Just satisfying your own deviances, your own fantasies.
Can't you keep that private?
And hurting people while you're doing this shit?
Crazy.
This is crazy work. So that's Vince McMahon. This lawsuit is accusing him of heinous, crazy shit. A lot is going on in WWE right now. Vince McMahon has stepped down.
And The Rock took over.
So
he also got himself caught up by fighting in the ring after taking over. Like, really?
Like, he just had to like sell tickets. He had to even put himself in the whole drama when it comes to WWE, WrestleMania, shenanigans to be able to sell tickets, because this whole lawsuit shaking the WWE at that time. It's crazy. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. You know it's JEJE Vibe.
Well, how do you know?
See you in the next one. JEJE Vibe. Infinity Vibe.
It's gone.
No.
Vince McMahon is shaking, and he's been shaking for a while. I've been meaning to do this story, but now he's finally forced to sell his shares of the TKO company, which is the parent company of the WWE and the UFC. He's finally have to give up his shares in the company that he made popular. There's so much to this story, and there's so much scandal and tea behind this. Let's talk about it. A reoccurring topic I constantly hear when it comes to the Sean Diddy Puffy Combs case is they say, y'all are so focused on the black man. Yeah, the black man did this horrible thing, but there's got to be a white man that did something that's crazy. I found him. Your white man is Vince McMahon. Baby, this case is really, really nasty. And they almost did the same thing. I really kind of want to say that. Well, Vince McMahon had a lady that he had working for him. Although this is not his first time being in trouble, he actually had to step down from the WWE in 2022 because he had got some allegations against him. This lady's coming out in January 2024 with a whole new set of allegations that made him step down again. So let me tell you the story about that lady. This is Janelle Grant. When Janelle Grant met Vince McMahon, she was helping her parents who were dying. They were living in the same building as Vince McMahon, and they were a lot older. She had filed bankruptcy. She went through a lot taking care of her parents. But Vince McMahon came in and he kind of moved like an angel at one point. He helped her. He gave her a job with the WWE. And this was all, at first supposed to be just, I'm just trying to help you. I see that, it was under disguise of eventually she had to do some extra acts for him. Now, those extra acts, baby, they are nasty. He actually defecated on her head. I'm going to show the emoji if you don't know what defecated meant. Boop. Okay. He did that on her head while they had an actual encounter with her, him, and the personal trainer. So everybody around Vince McMahon could get it, okay? And there are other women, I told y'all, that put him in lawsuits before where he had to step down in 2022. So at that time, when 2022, he didn't have to sell any of his shares of the TKO company. He just had to step down. They came back together and voted him back in, okay? And that's how he was able to get back in. Now he's out because of this lady. But this lady, Janelle Grant, not only is she using her name, she's trying to open doors for the other people that she knows that she said allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because they still have to do the trial and everything for this, were assaulted allegedly by Vince McMahon. And it wasn't just him. She said it was this guy right here, John Laurinaitis. He's a former wrestler and also a chairman with the WWE. He has a lot of power, just like Vince McMahon. And they had this lady on call. If they wanted to mess with her, and she said that sometimes it was violent, they would hold her down and that their theme was no meant yes. She had to do everything with them, to the point where this lady started experiencing very bad health problems. She started losing her hair. She started becoming very weak. And Vince McMahon did not care. Although he didn't care. He literally said, like, look, you be all right. Let me show you what they quoted that he said. She said she was enduring emotional trauma. He said emotional trauma, my A. Okay, that's quoted in this lawsuit, y'all. This stuff is crazy. Vince McMahon told that lady, I don't care what you're going through, you all right, and you're going to do whatever I want to do with whoever I want to do it if you want to keep your job. And also, if you don't want these news spread to the world, because he had a lot of photos of her. Now, a lot of this was under the guise that this lady was supposed to be keeping her job. So a lot of the moves that she made, the text messages that she, texts back in the lawsuit, they look like they're giving consent. She's saying she was coerced into everything. She job was held over her safety was held over her, allegedly. She said that he would make her do things with other wrestlers, and there was videotape of that. And he said that videotape would hit the internet, and not necessarily that harm would be caused to her, but I inferred something in the lawsuit, like he would somehow get the law involved. Like, were you going to get this lady arrested? I don't know what he could have done, but he said he was going to do whatever until he had to fire her. He had to fire her when his wife found out about their affair. This is the wife. When the wife found out, he took her job, and then he also still demanded access to her. If I'm not able to have access to you, I'm still going to, do you harm, and you sign this NDA. And this lady is coming out and saying she wants that NDA revoked because she signed it under duress. That will open up her being able to write a book. Now, she will be the first person that came out and write a book or made a movie, anything against Vince McMahon. If they say the NDA is null and void, baby, she's going to get $1 million off of the lawsuit and off of that, because everybody's going to watch that. Now, I know you're wondering, Chrissy, what is he actually in trouble for? Get to the point. He's being accused of sexual assault and trafficking. Now, where does the trafficking come in? When you cross state lines with someone and take them to sleep with someone else, that is trafficking. You're crossing state lines. When you do any kind of situation, y'all need to hear this, because I hear a lot of it in the music. Oh, let my homie hit her, pass her around. That's my two, you know what I mean? I'm shoot for the bros and pass her around. That kind of culture is trafficking, and you can get in a lot of trouble. And there's a paper trail of that, a lot of that through text messages between them. He would say a lot of gross, disgusting stuff to her, say who she had to go meet up with. I told you that John guy, he was calling her in the middle of the night and she had to go. That is them trafficking her according to the law. Now, why this is a big deal, because this has been going on for a long time, is the news just came out yesterday that he's having to sell his share. He's having to sell his share of TKO. TKO, I told you, is the WWE and UFC parent companies. That's a lot of money. He's worth $2.6 billion, okay? Nothing to sneeze at. He's going to have something left. But now that these stakes are for sale, TKO is completely trying to get away from Vince McMahon. They do not want their name tarnished and tied to this, because it looks bad. It looks very bad, and it's going to get worse, especially when they go to trial and stuff really gets to coming out, and then when more people step forward, because the stuff is gross. It's real bad. So it's not looking good for Vince McMahon. They had his daughter at WrestleMania. That was really scandalous. But there was some clips that I saw of him having kind of like a weird relationship with his daughter. Y'all look into that. I'm not trying to get in trouble on social media, but there's a lot of tea here. There's a lot of scandal here. And at least you know it ain't just Diddy.
You know what, Dad? I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry that all my life I've let you manipulate me and use me. All my life just to be the apple of my daddy's eye.
I'm having a little fun here.
Every time I went out to dinner with one of your business associates, I was 17 years old. You don't think they told me what you promised them I'd do? And guess what, Dad? I did it. I did it for you, the things I did with them, and I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed of myself that I'm just like you. And I'm not gonna let you do that to Zach Gowen. Why do I care so much about Zach Gowen? Maybe because he's my last bastion of hope. Maybe because he's the last thing that can possibly save myself. But I'm not gonna let you do it to him, Dad. And if that means that you're gonna fire me, then fine. Fire me. Fire who ever cared about you, the only one person that wanted to be just like you, me. Maybe I just won't care about you anymore!
I don't think you really know me all that well, do you? You know, I'm the kind of guy, just when you think you know them a little bit, you find out you don't know a damn thing about them. Oh, I'm willing to pay the price. You see, JR, I'm a risk taker. A calculated risk taker. You can call me a bad guy. I don't know if you're going to think ill of me, but I enjoy destroying lives. It turns me on.
What Vince McMahon wanted them to do.
If people like me and people like everybody else who works in the wrestling business knows about this. The very first day I went to work full-time for the WWF back in '87, my boss told me, you know about Pat Patterson and Terry Garvin. You ever have a problem, come to me. He said to me. So if he knew and everybody else knows, Vince McMahon isn't going to know.
This is a powerful man with a lot of money who cannot stand to have anybody stand up to him and take him on.
We came to the WWF headquarters here in Stamford, Connecticut to try to speak with Vince McMahon about the allegations of sexual abuse by his staff, but we were turned away by his security.
Are you a sick, perverted, power-hungry freak?
No.